Hello and welcome. Today we will actually talk about MPLS, multi-label protocol switching. Okay, and as you can see in the topology that I have here, I have a couple of devices that are actually provider core devices and provider edge devices, PE1 and PE2. And actually all the devices are configured with OSPF, and I have a couple of loopback IP addresses configured on all those devices, as you can see right here. So to configure MPLS, let's go to the command line, and first I want to check if I can ping the other side, the other provider edge router PE2 with the IP address of the loopback IP address of 12.12.12.12, and of course we can ping the device. Okay. So I'm gonna actually start from router 1, as you can see right there. So let's begin the configuration. So to configure MPLS, I need to be in global configuration mode. Config terminal, and the first command that I'm going to use MPLS. Okay, and I'm going to ask the router what actually I want to use next. So I'm going to use MPLS actually label range, and the range starts from 16 to, let's say, 99 for this router. Okay. The second command, we need to enable MPLS globally, with MPLS IP, and after that actually we need to we can add more commands, for example the MPLS LDP, okay, router ID, for example. Okay, so the router ID will be 11.11.11.11. okay, so router ID, we suppose actually to use the interface name instead, so loopback 0 command, as you can see right there, MPLS, okay, MPLS label protocol, okay, LDP. So we can either use the LDP, which is an open standard, or we can use TDP, which is tagging distribution protocol that is developed by Cisco, but is actually deprecated, nobody uses it, like the 802.1 Q and ISL, the Cisco proprietary protocol. Okay, so I'm going to use the LDP, label distribution protocol. This is actually the protocol that distributes or carry the labels. Okay, and after that we need to go under the interface that's actually, or interfaces that actually we want to run the MPLS. Okay, at this point actually I need the gigabit 00 interface here to be running MPLS. Okay, so I'm gonna go under the interface gig 0/0, and then MPLS IP, and then that's it. Okay, so I need to go to router 1, which is the provider core device. Okay, router 1, and I need to do middleware configuration. So MPLS IP, MPLS label range, I'm going to give it range from 100 to 199. Okay, and then MPLS, okay, we did MPLS IP, MPLS label protocol, it's the default. Okay, just showing you actually how to configure the to use LDP instead of using TDP. And then under the interface, actually, what interface we need to check? Let's do show. Okay, you show IP interface brief. So we have a couple of interfaces, and we are connected to provider edge 1 via the fast Ethernet 0, as you can see right here. Okay, so under the fast Ethernet 0/0, MPLS IP. Okay, that's it. And after a while the neighbor will come up. Actually let's move to, as you can see right here, so we have formed a neighbor relationship, okay, using LDAP protocol. Router 2, let's mirror the configuration. Okay, so config terminal, and then MPLS IP, and MPLS label range. Let's give it range from 200 to 299, and then MPLS LDP. You can use router ID actually 2.2.2.2 or loopback 0. I forgot to configure the router ID on this router here, so MPLS actually LDP router ID loopback 0 right here as well. And go back to the interface. So under the interface that is connected to router 1, actually we need to check the interface first. So it's connected via fast Ethernet 0.1. Okay, so interface fast Ethernet 0/1, and then MPLS, okay, IP right there. And also we need to enable the MPLS on the other side, means on the other interface. So the other interface actually it's interface fast Ethernet 0/0 right there, okay? And then MPLS IP, and that's it, okay? After a while, sure enough, we'll get a message saying that we form neighbor relationship, okay, via LDP, label distribution protocol. And let's do show MPLS run, okay, section MPLS. Here we go. And okay, so as you can see, we configured MPLS. Did we configure it globally? MPLS IP. Show run, okay, interface fast Ethernet 0/0. And sure enough, MPLS IP, and then show run fast Ethernet 0.1, MPLS IP. Okay, do show MPLS, do show LDP. Okay, MPLS neighbors, and show MPLS. Okay, show MPLS actually LDP neighbors. We don't have a neighbor relationship because actually we forgot to enable it on the interface of router 1. We show IP interface brief, and interface fast Ethernet 0/1 MPLS IP, I think. You show run interface fast Ethernet 0/0, and okay, and here we go. So the neighbor has came up. Okay, so we form a neighbor relationship between router 1 and router 2, as well as between the provider edge 1 and P1, provider core 1. Let's hop to router 3, P3, provider edge 3. Let's config terminal, and then MPLS IP. Okay, and then MPLS label and range, let's say 300 to 399. Okay, actually in production network area, not going to actually restricts the range to some, okay, to some range. Normally you don't use this command, okay, but actually in lab environment I want to show you that actually you can use certain range of labels, right? So MPLS IP is there, MPLS LDP router loopback 0, you can see right there, and then under the interfaces show IP interface brief command under the interfaces. So interface fast Ethernet 00, we want to enable MPLS IP, and then actually on fast Ethernet 01, and they want to enable MPLS right there as well. Okay, so we configured those routers. The remaining router is the provider edge 2 router right there. As you can see, the neighbor has come up. We form a neighbor relationship via MPLS. Now let's actually configure the provider core 2 with MPLS label. Okay, range. The range will be 400 to 499. Okay, MPLS IP globally. Then under the interfaces, okay, let's check the interfaces that we have right here. We are going to actually configure MPLS on the gigabit 00, as you can see right there. So interface gig 00, and then MPLS IP. The neighbor has come up, so actually we configured actually the MPLS fully right now. So to verify, okay, we need to go to provider edge 1, and let's issue a ping, okay, and we are going to use MPLS and then IPv4 right there, okay, and the IP address that we actually want to ping, 12.12.12.12 right there, okay. Complete command, and we need to use the slash, okay, slash 32 slash 32, and as you can see right here, the ping has successfully, okay, is successful, so we can ping using MPLS. Okay, I want also want to talk a little bit about troubleshooting MPLS. So the first command that we actually mentioned earlier, so show MPLS LDP neighbors, actually to check the neighbors that are forming a relationship with PE1. The other command actually to check the label or a label information base, show MPLS, okay, IP, and then binding. This will show actually a label and the prefixes and the labels as well. This is the lib, okay. So for the prefix .1.1.1/32, the label in actually is 16, and implicit null. The implicit null actually is generated by the last, the penultimate hop popping, the router before the last, okay. Yeah, and also I want to check the other command is MPLS to show MPLS LDP, and then okay, MPLS forwarding actually table, which shows the LFIB, label information base. Okay, so as you can see right here, we have the local labels, okay, that are imposed or actually pushed by this router, and then the outgoing labels, okay. As you can see here, we have the pop. So for this prefix, actually this router is popping the label out or disposing the label. For the other labels, actually we have local, and then we have the outgoing, so there is a swap going on in here, okay. And for this, actually this prefix right here, we have the pop or imposing or disposing of the label, sorry. On the P1 device, okay, let's show MPLS LDP neighbors to check the neighbors, show MPLS forwarding to check the lfib forwarding table. Okay, and the P1 actually as a provider core deals with the swapping of the labels. Okay, so and the other command, okay, show MPLS IP binding to check the lib or label information base. I hope this have been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.